Hey, hey! And welcome back to another Speed Art from the Vault. As always, I am joined here by my good friend and one of the main players of the game, Mouse.
Howdy.
And we're still looking back at my old Halloween D&D campaign from 2021. This time we're going off on a very fun but very kind of useless drawing from the whole thing. Don Funzo Cioccolini, the Mafia Don clown. Now, as was with a lot of things in this section, Mouse, you were the only one who actually got to see this guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, that tends to happen when my teammates lock me in an alternate dimension.
Yeah, this was in the middle of what was known as the multi-world mirror maze. A suggestion by you way back when, before this was a campaign I used for you guys.
Yeah, and I will say I was caught off guard by its location, at least.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to put it somewhere completely random, and it wasn't supposed to be known as the mirror maze, you know? So I put it in a magical closet. Now, as you can see by the photographs and imagery around the drawing, I had a lot of reference pulled up. I had a lot of fun drawing this guy. I believe I did it around 2 in the morning, though.
I mean, I feel like 2 in the morning is prime clown drawing hours.
Oh, yeah. When would you draw a clown?
Probably 2 in the morning.
Probably 2 in the morning. It works. You see he's got little lapels on his jacket. Comes down nice and big. I really wanted to make it obvious that he was a Mafia Don. I feel like it came across, you know?
Yeah, it was pretty... Like, you did pretty well with this one.
Yeah, like, this is something I'm very proud of, despite the fact that it wasn't really that useful. Now, in the multi-world mirror maze, you had a lot of different things to go through. It was a maze of mirrors with, like, I believe 6 different portals into different dimensions, where you would have to solve very specific problems. Don Funzo was the only one who had a drawing for him, though.
Yeah, I think we've talked about most of them already, actually.
Yeah. Primarily, we spoke about when you were using the dual flute of suggestion a few videos back to solve one of them where you had to fight yourself.
Yeah, and I think in that one, the drunken guys came up.
Oh, no, that was the second. Yeah, that was the very first mirror you ever went into. You went into a barfly world where basically you were going to have to play the knife game. And I had a system in place to make you do so. But you had actually recently found a very, very special bottle of liquor that you traded for the exit to the mirror maze. Which...
really convenient for me, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. It was genius, too. Absolutely genius.
Yeah,
I commended you for that.
I don't know how well my guy would have done in a knife game.
Not sure. It's kind of a game of skill and patience.
Yeah, he didn't really have any skill outside of his magic.
No, you were a man of brains and nothing else. You can see, as usual, I had to block out the feet in order to get a good sense of space and such. I always have to do that with feet, I've noticed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's hard. Feet are very weirdly geometrically shaped, but they're very horribly organic things in the human body. You actually kind of enjoyed that world, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, out of all of them, that one was the nicest, simply because I didn't feel like there was a chance that I would lose something.
Oh, yeah.
Like a finger.
Yeah,
or my leg.
In this one, all you had to do was, when you found out about the challenge, of course, because you entered into a desolate, empty sort of world, sort of like a zombified wasteland, and there was actually a zombie manning a carny game that you played.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ended up cheating him out of a prize.
Now, is it cheating if I'm just using the resources I have available to my character?
You know, that's a good point. That's a good point, Mouse.
Yeah, maybe using an area of effect spell was cheating.
The carny didn't seem to mind. He just wanted to die.
Well, I got my prize, and quite frankly, that was all that mattered to me.
Oh yeah, the prize was, I gave you an Easter egg from Gravity Falls. It was either a duck or a panda, but you wanted one.
I did want it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But all you had to do in this world was make Don Funzo laugh.
Which is exceedingly easy for me.
Especially considering I was playing Don Funzo. He was a very evil clown man. But he was really proud of you for being such a funny man at the end.
Hey, if only your sense of humor wasn't so predictable.
Yeah, it would have been a challenge. I don't know, I kind of wanted to give you an easy one, but there was an option to actually fight him.
Yeah, but that's just not what my guy does.
No, which is why I was kind of hoping that all three of you would enter into the maze, because I had things in place for all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like a bonus fight. You could have fought Don Funzo.
Well, maybe if they had...
And a couple of other clown parties.
They shouldn't have locked me in here alone.
Yeah, and that was still Magic Bear's fault.
It was.
Oh my god, that was a fun episode to listen back to, even though it was never, like, able to come through. You can see I really went heavy on the fat guy area for the Don. This was actually an idea based on one of my favorite Codename Kids Next Door episodes.
Yeah, I think you told me that before.
Oh yeah, you can actually see him. He's one of the more forefront references to the left. I knew roughly what I wanted him to look like. He was just a combination of a Mafia Don and a clown. And signifiers of both of them are pretty obvious. You know, with Mafia Dons, primarily in design, they're always fat. They've got jowls. And, you know, you've got that classic little Mafia Don mustache, you know? But for clowns, you've got a lot more options. So I really had to think hard about this. I gave him a very small head on a very fat body, gigantic shoes, and as you'll see, I actually gave him a suit and tie in the style of a Mafia Don, but in the color scheme of a clown. I really had fun designing clown clothes.
I mean, they seem like they'd be fun to do.
Oh yeah, it was surprisingly easy. You can see the entire bottom half I just basically copied off Krusty the Clown. Big red shoes, green pants with little lapels at the end, or...
Pink shirt.
Yeah. I really went heavily on the Krusty.
Yeah, that one was a little more obvious.
Yeah. I mean, Krusty is the first clown I usually think of. But overall, Don Funzo was a very... You gave me such crap for that name. Funzo the Clown! How original. What was something else you did in the Mirror Maze? Oh, I remember. Shamrock had to face his greatest fear in the multi-world Mirror Maze.
Yeah.
I sent you into an isolated void, which I feel like you understood this at some point, but the void you entered into in that world was actually supposed to be Why Not's void.
I don't know. Maybe I understood that at some point.
Yeah. Like, it was pure white, but as you walked on for ages, it became blue. With, like, purple highlights everywhere. Ay. Oh, and if you look close while I'm face painting, you can see that there's still a bit of his actual, like, flesh tone in the back uncovered. I wanted to make that very obvious. I couldn't find a good way to make him smile. Because he was just supposed to look very disgruntled.
Well, I mean, you succeeded.
Oh yeah, there are sad clowns, but I wanted him to have a goofy smile painted onto him. It didn't work as well, so we just went with the red lips.
Which, in all honesty, I think they really just worked for you better that way.
Oh, absolutely. It would have looked like a mess otherwise. I almost gave him a 5 o'clock shadow, but I felt like that was just overdoing it at that point. Plus, it wouldn't have worked very well with the makeup.
Yeah.
Did I tell you there's a way you could have met Why Not?
I don't think you ever mentioned it, though I also don't think that it would have entirely mattered.
We're gonna discuss that in one of our last videos, I believe. Because that was a part of my big red button.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. But that's not terribly important now.
No, we did kind of just skip all that, so...
Yeah.
Which I don't think was a bad thing.
No. I needed him to be sitting up here on top of a grand sort of stage area. It was a high clown pillar, reaching far above everything else. But, yeah, that was Don Funzo Chuckalini, one of my better designs throughout this entire thing. Anything to end off on, Mouse?
He was probably the best part of the maze.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm really glad you enjoyed the carnival.
It also seems like you gave up on the spotlight.
I did. I gave up on the spotlight hard. But yeah, That's the video. Before we leave, I'd like to remind everyone to like, comment, subscribe. Every time you do, it sends the algorithm messages that it needs to send it to more people. It's just a great big help. But that's the video. And as always, he's been Mouse, I've been Why Not, and I hope you were entertained. Good night, everybody.